again, we're back. We're talking New World, Amazon games, brand new. Yes, the game got pushed back to September 28, I believe, but spending over 30 hours in their world, I just want to give my, well, click allow. Well, if you're new to the channel, I'm honestly gonna endorse myself and say you should subscribe. You should hit the like button. You should comment, because that tells the squirrels to tell the other squirrels, and good things happen. Also, there's an ongoing joke: 0 to 1,000. Maybe I'll pay for Windows. I'll activate Windows and get rid of that watermark. But anyways, we're talking New World, right? So we got a chance to play the beta or demo, however you want to call it, for the pre-order. And if you know me, if you've been here since day one when this channel started in October, I do not like to pre-order games anymore. Reason why: Cyberpunk, The Division 2, Outriders, just to name a few. I've been batting 0 for 3, give or take. So at this point, I'm not saying that I buy the game when it comes out on sale in a bin somewhere, but I'm more cautious, as I normally did the pre-order, not for the items, but it was more for the devs. Hey, you know, I support the game. I'm hyped about the game. Let's go. Let's do it. And, you know, so moving on to New World. Now, I did do the pre-order to get in the beta. Yeah, make that meme, that face. So I was interested in this game because as a casual gamer who's gaming more, I kind of want to get a little bit of everything from the buffet. Okay, so what does that mean? I want to have an MMO game. Okay, I haven't played any game like that since... Man, I'm trying to think. It's been 1 week. No, it's been since like Warcraft days, like when World of Warcraft, whatever it's called, WoW, when it started, when everyone was buying gift cards and stuff like that. I played a little bit, nothing to remember anything significant, right? And then I wanted to jump into Baldur's Gate, if that's the correct term for it. And I'm recently trying to get into learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons, right? Someone was like, hey, listen, I saw you doing Will Smith on Grand Theft Auto. Do the same thing, but in fantasy. I'll keep you guys posted. But anyways, New World. Now, this perspective, my opinion, comes from someone who has no idea what they're doing, right? Can't compare it to any other MMO fantasy game. And I played the game casual, and I spent almost 30 hours into this game, which I think retails for $39.99. Now, I'm not going to hold anything to the end of the video. I enjoyed what I saw. But with that being said, it's a grind game. So the question you have to ask yourself, whether you're hardcore, and if you're hardcore, you already know the answer, or you're casual, or you're thinking about jumping in it for the first time, it is a grind game. Okay, so if you've played games like Destiny 2, the Division series, Diablo, Doom, or maybe not Doom, maybe. There's certain games, Outriders, Marvel's Avengers, where you have to grind the game if you want the best gear, if you want to have the best experience as far as RNG goes, right? The question you have to ask yourself is, do you need another one? Okay, with more and more games coming out with the chase the carrot mentality, and I get it, can you fit another one on the juggling plates that you have in the gaming? Now, for me, honestly, no. I can't. Division is my favorite game. Right now I'm playing the closed beta for X-Defiant and Back for Blood, and I'm excited about Battlefield 2042. There's just so many games coming out, and plus games that I'm playing right now, like older games that are new to me, like Destiny 2. So do I need another one? No. But I gave it a shot. Now, I would love this game, and it's gonna sound bad to say this, but I'm a noob and I'm casual. I would love a noob mode. And what I mean by that, and in their feedback, I put it in there, you know, constructive criticism. And I heard some of the devs talking about it as they were working on, they've got more stuff in the future on it, but not necessarily a noob mode. But man, when you play this game for the first time, there's just so much happening that you have no idea what you're really supposed to do, right? So just something where it cleans up the UI, or something where you kind of have an understanding of where you are in this mystical land. Now, the price is low. Maybe I got a deal or a discount on it, which I don't think so, but I believe I paid $39.99. Unless there's some catch that's going to happen later on. We'll find out. That'll be a separate video. But the community was nice. And what I mean by the community was nice, that anytime I had a question, I would put in the general chat for everybody to see while you're playing the game. and they would answer the question. They would answer the question. They would help. They would meet up. If I was stuck fighting some cyber cat, in the woods somewhere, they would help the team up to get rid of said enemy. The other thing they were doing that was pretty cool was if there was an item. So let's say there was an item in game, they had this item, they would say, hey, look, anybody near 7-Eleven? There is no 7-Eleven in the game. I'm not sponsored. They would say, hey, pick up this scepter of Slurpees. And you would go ahead and pick up that scepter. And now you got the power of brain freeze for 30 miles, whatever. Unless I was doing it wrong, I couldn't look at anyone's builds. There were some builds that I saw people doing hills and certain things. I was curious, like, I'm trying to learn this world. I'm like, can I get the power of looking at someone else's build? And thinking about games like Division and Destiny, it's something really easy as just hovering your mouse over and, getting that information. Now, this is probably the first game in a long time where I didn't play with controller. I can't see how you can play this game with controller. Right? Let me know in the comments if that's a possible thing. But I played with keyboard and mouse and it was smooth. Now, the healing that I saw looked good. And if you know me, I love a heal build. I love support build. I'm fine with being in the boy band and in the back. I don't have to be the one sitting front and center. And that's fine with me. Now, is the healing a little too strong? Again, I don't know anything about MMOs, but it felt like it did. It felt like it was a really strong build, even though I was only maybe level 12. No more than level 15. And I think the max at the time was 60. But there were some players in the 30s and 40s where their heals were just so ridiculous. It was like I didn't have to do anything. I could literally just be getting mauled in the face and it wasn't doing any damage. So I don't know if that's how they intended it, but as a healer, that's awesome. Sign me up for it. Now, it was and still is a good looking game. I played it on Ultra. Then I moved it to medium and I put it on high and I put it back on ultra. I just was curious to see how the game would perform and I didn't have any issues. Now I did lock, normally when I do a beta, I do go in and lock the frames per second as there's sometimes issues with frame rates and you already know they had some issues with that. The game sounded great. I was very surprised in the game to hear the voiceover work. Now there were some monsters I encountered or things where there wasn't voiceover, but again, unfinished product. But when I looked at something like, I don't know, talking to someone about a task, right? I'm talking to someone about a task. And as I'm talking to them, it's interesting because I expected just to read everything. And there was voice acting on it. So it sounded good. The sounds of the environment, chopping down a tree. Oh, there's nothing more satisfying than chopping down a tree in New World. They could literally do the opening trailer for New World when it's getting ready to come out. And it's just the chopping of the tree with some other rhythmic music in the background, right? And it's just, you're like, I don't know why, but who produced this? And it was like Amazon Games. All right, so as I continue moving on, now it was very repetitive. And I'm thinking that's not a good thing early on, as I only got like level 12, level 15. Because there were some bosses that I bumped into, which I shouldn't have. Some bosses I ran into that were the same bosses or enemies that I saw previously. Only difference was this was a boss, or this boss was in red because they had caught the flu. I don't know. I didn't really understand fully the world somewhat, and I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Maybe it's just because the game, obviously they're giving you a small sample size. Now, what I did hear from people in the community was that this game originally was supposed to be PvP, right? And then they've kind of changed and added stuff for someone like me, PvE. Because I don't care for any of the PvP in this game. I don't understand it enough yet. Not to say I won't do later on down the road, but I'm like, no, I'm good. So maybe that's something they haven't really fully put in, or they're just holding back because it was the beta. But I just thought it was interesting, I even saw a situation in our faction, because you're able to have factions. You can at some point choose 3 factions. And of the 3 factions, I chose the Syndicates, or Syndicate is what it's called. But in the factions, you had the Covenant and you had the Marauders. It was a situation in the Syndicate where there was a group that was being so efficient in their task on the I forgot what it's called. It's like the board where you get all your tasks or whatnot. They were so good at doing the task. Now, a lot of people, what they would do is they would look at the task, stay at the board, and then feed that information to their party. Their party would complete the task and they would get the credit, and the person would be the MVP by not getting any credits, but at least they would finish the task. Then you had some other people who are just really good at like getting a to-do list and knocking it out. But there was some alienation, or it's not alienation, that's a different video game. There's some people were alienated for being so efficient that the clan or faction in general was not helping them complete any more tasks. Like, how does that make any sense? Right? So think about it. You're with a party of, I don't know, 6, maybe 25. You guys are playing the game so well that the majority of the people in the faction where the goal of the game is to succeed over all the other factions, because you get these points, or you can take money and gold and you buy parts of the land, parts of the map, so that you control those parts of the map. You have allies, you have, like, it's just home field advantage. And they wouldn't help these other individuals continue being efficient. I thought that was interesting. So there's that. The other thing that was, I saw that a lot of people were coming from WoW. They played WoW and they came over here for that. It's not a bad thing at all. It just shows the dynamic of what this game is, and maybe it feels really good if you came from there. I'm a to-do list kind of guy. If I play a game, I try to complete whatever tasks pop up in the objectives. And so there was situations that happened to me where it got me in more trouble than not. Right? So I'll give you an example. There was a situation where we were setting up to do a war. And there was 2 situations. I will layer it with a war and just doing objectives. So on the map, they say, we want you to go here. It's on the objectives. What they really want me to do is they really want me to do some other side quests that you can't see as clear as the main objective. And if I do those side quests, it should put me on the level and weapon level to do this objective that I see in the menu that says objective. So I make my way over there, only to find out that the enemy is way stronger than me and people are trying to keep me alive, but they clearly cannot. And it's not their fault. I shouldn't be in this land. I shouldn't be in this land. And I die over and over again. It doesn't matter if my camp is outside. I'm just respawning to die. Then there's another situation where we're trying to do a war. And if you're not a certain level, you're really no help to anyone in the war. Now you can go help to the war, from what I was told by some of the leaders doing the war. You can go to the war and you could just be a dead body. You just be a dead body to help them. And I was like, I will die for your cause. And so I went out there, put me in a worse situation, because as I'm charting land that I shouldn't be in to get to the war that's in this area, I am dying to enemies that are 2 times stronger than me. Whether it's a camp or no camp, watch and repeat. So that was an issue. Now I'll end it on this. Mind you, like I said, I enjoyed the game. I don't think I'm gonna cancel my pre-order. I think, like I said, I would like an MMO in the game. I would like something to play with. That's a different type of thing in the buffet casually. And how I look at it is, if I spent so many hours in a game versus the value, then I got my value for it. So almost spending 30 hours in a game that I think I paid $42 for, and that's not even the full game, I think I'll be fine. Right? Put in the comments how you feel about your experience. Now, the last part I'll leave you on. I play as a healer, and I feel like it almost hurts you playing as a healer, trying to level up your main weapon, which is this life scepter thing, right? Because it doesn't do any damage. It's not designed to do damage. That's the common sense of it. But you need to use it so that you can level it up, so that when you start needing to do magic, then it's where it needs to be. But it forces you to pick something else, right? So most healers pick something like the fire gauntlet or the ice gauntlet. I picked the ice gauntlet, let it go. Now it's stuck in your head. You can't hold it back anymore. It was okay, but still, as a healer set up, you're weak already. So it didn't make it really fun to go around and have to go after an animal or pig, or you could hit a turkey with one shot, but everything else, you're literally just throwing pebbles at it. And then here comes someone to help you, and they go ahead and one shot it, and they're the same level. It's just, unless you're in a party as a healer, I feel like you're working harder than you have to doing it solo. Can you do this game solo? Maybe, but it just seems like everyone that I saw that was enjoying themselves, and like I said, I enjoyed myself, but I mean, like, really enjoying what the game is for, was in a party, or they were looking for a healer, so you added them to the party. But if you were just roaming by yourself as a healer, put in the comment what was your experience, because mine was like, it's a beautiful world out here. I'm weak, and will I be doing this for the rest of my eternity? I don't know. Other than that, that was it. Like I said, it was a beautiful looking game, beautiful sounding game. Amazon Games, the possibilities are endless with this game. Now they did push it back 30 more days. Don't know if that's going to help with the issues that some of the people in the community wanted as far as PvP goes. Like I said, PvE is seen very repetitive and bland on the PvE part of it. There was a lot of tasks that were overwhelming if you were new and didn't understand what you were looking for. But the game has promise. I didn't see any elements in the game that looked like it was pay to win. Again, the factions look cool. The crafting was cool. The market, when you went in, you can go and buy and trade and do stuff like that. Didn't mess around with any expeditions or outpost rush, invasions, things of that nature. Tried war. We know how that went. I died. You could have been anywhere in the world. I'm sorry this video was long, but I really wanted a video for anybody who was in my situation. Again, you're casual, you're a new player to MMOs, or you've been gone for a while and you're just curious, should you buy this game? Okay. If you're going to grind out this game, I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're going to be, sorry, if you're going to be on a forum or something where you can get into a party, I think you're going to enjoy this game. I think it's going to be a solid game. They've got some balancing issues and some stuff to work on. But I enjoyed my time in this world, this new world. So until next time, Kalikalikalow.
Bye.